These are some Dinar Guru updates. Starting off with Mountain Goat, we are close and Iraq is moving in the right direction. We have never seen such progress before in the direction we are looking for, but let's not over speculate. There is still much to be done, but they will get there. I am still holding firm that we could see a reinstatement before June. The evidence is right now in front of our noses. Let's see what happens before now and then. Bruce Fearweiser now says they have been paying, and they've acknowledged now that they're paying their contractors, their retirees, their military, and new Iraqi dinar at the revalued rate. We talked about lower denominations of dinar is in the ATM ready to go. We know people personally that have exchanged in Iraq that are Iraqi citizens. We know that firsthand. So things are moving along nicely. Walking Stick via Frank26 says these 8 points are from the minute notes from the latest CBI and their private banks meeting that they had last week. Individuals who got them were at executive level. One, the subject was about employees that are now paid in IQDs throughout Iraq because it is their national currency. They are proud of the monetary reform success. All right, Mark Z via PDK says, I am excited about today, excited where we're headed, excited about all the progress we are seeing. I continue to hear from a lot of different sources like contractors and the finance ministry over there that there is a lot of pressure on and that they seem to have a goal in mind somewhere around May 10th. But it could happen before that. None of us know the exact timing. We are guessing based on what we see and hear. All of the indicators are very solid right now. These are exciting times, frustrating, but exciting. Militiaman says we hear there is a time frame for them to have the whole country online electronically sometime around June 1st. That's what we're hearing. It's not necessarily in writing, cut in stone, but effectively based on what we're getting from the banking side of the equation. Frank26 article, quote, the central bank participates in a workshop to support the proliferation of points of sale POS. Quote, the deputy governor, Mustafasa al-Hamas, stated that this bank is the best support for the private sector participating in the paradigm shift. The reality is that this cooperation will soon reap its positive fruits, unquote. Frank26 says it's a paradigm shift. To have something so dramatic from a program rate to a float on your currency that would only add value to it and on a consistent basis, paradigm shift is right. This is fantastic article. They're talking about the new small category notes. That's only paradigm shift that's occurring. I promise you, monetary reform takes the IQD into a new dimension. Deepwood says the only thing that makes sense to me at this point is that they chose 1310 for a reason and not just some random number or percentage. Once they achieve symbiosis of rate at the current 1310, then they drop the zeros at that point. Why else would you have chosen the lame number in the first place, right? Right. All right, Nader from the Mideast says, I'm going to give you the best I can because I've been busy for a couple of days, not working at home, traveling a little bit in Iraq. We're almost there, I promise. Just be a little patient. A couple more weeks, okay? Everybody will be happy. All right, we have Trader with a tax story. Says, I met with my CPA firm here in Tucson, Arizona, April 3rd for a billable 1 hour. He stated to me that this investment in foreign currencies upon exchange will be taxed at the capital gains rate, which can range from 0% to 20% in tax year 2023, depending on the taxpayer's income, marital and filing status, and the length of the holding period of the investment. Holdings over 1 year are taxed as long-term capital gains, but if the holding period is under 1 year, and then net short-term capital gains are subject to taxation as ordinary income at graduated tax rates. Directly from the actual official IRS.gov tax topic number 409, pages 1 through 2. That's where that quote came from. My research also shows the following statement of fact in IRS publication 525, taxable and non-taxable income, page 34. Quote, foreign currency transactions. If you have a gain on a personal foreign currency transaction because of changes in exchange rates, You don't have to include that gain in your income unless it's more than $200. If the gain is more than $200, report it as capital gain, unquote. Note to consult your tax professionals at the appropriate time to determine the correct tax for your unique circumstances and exchange strategy. Mark Zevia PDK says they are telling them in the mosques to be prepared for new paper. They're referring to the, quote, new currency, unquote. New paper money, new bills. They will be different. They will look different. They will feel different. They are bringing the people up to speed. They are not giving them a when yet, but they are telling them it's in the very near future. They need to be prepared because it's coming at any time. I keep hearing from all my contacts there, including contacts inside the government, that they have indeed already passed the budget and are waiting to announce it. It is done. I agree. They are clearly making provisions for HCL and oil deliveries, and things are moving forward. Based on the rhetoric coming out of Iraq, I am confident we will see great value in the extreme near future. All right, Walking Stick via Frank26, follow up to Walking Stick CBI post. Walking Stick says, do you remember 3 or 4 years ago when Walking Stick's firm was selected by the Central Bank of Iraq as part of a testing with 2 sets of books? One accounting book was to pay the employees of the firm in USDs. The other was to be kept private to pay the Iraqi citizens in IQDs. This was called the RV phase, recalculate of the exchange rate. The test was successful. It took all those years for what we told you to finally come out. The books were paying the Iraqi citizens in IQDs instead of American dollars. The other book that was open was paying in American dollars to their employees. The test was to see what exchange rate is capable of sustaining the Iraqi dinar. And lastly, we have Mark Zevia PDK from the CBI in Iraq. This is important to note, quote, for the purpose of strengthening the supervisory system of the Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Report Unit and all licensed companies, scenarios have been prepared for money laundering and terrorist financing systems that are compatible with the financial work environment of Iraq, unquote. This sets the stage for them to be able to execute the rate change and make certain that none of the money goes where it should, like hypothecating rats. They have put in place the controls necessary for exchanges, and so it does not go to the wrong place. They are spelling it out for us.